The purpose of the presentation today is to really talk about Shadowmatch and explain what Shadowmatch does, what Shadowmatch measures, what is the Shadowmatch coaching platform, what it offers to a coach as well as a client, and the process of becoming a coach. So what I would like to do is to share my screen. And then just go through a couple of slides. What I'm also going to do then, once I've gone through all the information and the theory, I'm actually practically going to show you how the system works and then how the functionalities on the system work and what the Shadowmatch coaching platform offers. So I think the first thing that I would like to do is just to talk about Shadowmatch. And let me just move my faces so that I can see what's happening on my screen. There you are. So I think the first thing that I would like to pay attention to is what is Shadowmatch. You've obviously seen Shadowmatch coaching, so you've seen the word Shadowmatch. A lot of you do know Shadowmatch, but a lot of people don't know what Shadowmatch is, what it measures. So I would like to start with a short video. It's really just a 2-minute video, and then I'll elaborate a bit more once we've watched the video.
Some people are intrigued by the underlying principles and theories that could be regarded as Shadowmatch anchors. I want to explain them to you. The first indisputable fact is that our behavior is controlled by neurons in the brain. Neurons send signals to the body. The body acts in accordance to the signals sent by the neurons through the nervous system. A specific part of the brain is responsible for behaviors that are embedded as patterns or habits. These patterns in the brain are not equally developed. This is why habits have different intensities amongst individuals. This is also why different habits have different intensities in the same person. The neurons learn through many channels of information like hearing, seeing, skin sensation, taste, and so on. The most powerful neuron teacher is repetition of behavior. You learn to swim by swimming. You learn to become a strong and efficient swimmer by practice and repetition. More repetition, stronger patterns. Stronger patterns, stronger swimmer. Another example, we learn to solve problems by solving problems. The more problems we solve, the more habitual problem solving becomes. But let me explain the second anchor. This anchor is the fact that the behavior of people is undoubtedly and beyond question the most reliable source of information about who and what we are. Behavior that repeats becomes patterns in the neurons. This becomes habits of behaviors in our daily lives. This is what Shadowmatch is able to capture and quantify, the relative intensity of our habits. Our behavior, and specifically the patterns of our behavior, is without a doubt the most reliable expression of who and what we are. Trust Shadowmatch as a reliable tool to better understand behavior.
Great. So now we've watched the video. Let me just get back to the presentation. So the first thing I would like to, what does Shadowmatch measure? As you've seen in the video, Shadowmatch measures habits or behavioral patterns. We refer to it as habits. So the system asks the individual or presents an individual with a series of situations. And in each of these situations, you can also call it questions. In each of these situations or scenarios, the individual has to decide, what am I going to do in this specific situation? So the system constantly presents a situation or a scenario. The individual then says, this is what I'm going to do in this situation. And through working and whilst working through the questions or the situations, the system continuously maps the individual's behavior patterns and the intensity of these patterns. So that's what we measure with Shadowmatch. We measure habits or behavioral patterns and the intensity of these patterns. So the outcome or the result of somebody completing the Shadowmatch worksheet is not a good or a bad, a pass or a fail. The outcome of somebody completing the Shadowmatch worksheet is a result of their habits, and the result shows the intensity of these behavioral patterns or habits. So there's no good or bad. It really just shows which habits are strongly embedded and which habits are softly embedded. And I'll show an example of what the results that Shadowmatch produces looks like a little bit later in the presentation. Now, how does it work? I've touched on that. An individual gets a link or an email from Shadowmatch. In the email, there's a link. They click on the link, they complete their personal information, they agree to the terms and conditions, and then they start with the Shadowmatch worksheet. It's 70 questions or situations that the individual works through in order for the system to take the information into the algorithms and then produce the habit result of the individual. Now, the Shadowmatch results produce various reports. Shadowmatch as a system has been used in the marketplace for the past 20 years. It's not a new system, it's used worldwide. And Shadowmatch as a habit measurement instrument is used for recruitment. Companies use Shadowmatch to decide who's the best fit and the best person for a specific job. Now, I'm not going to go into too much detail about Shadowmatch. There's a website where you can read and see a demonstration video on Shadowmatch as a working engine on shadowmatch.com. Our aim today is really look at the Shadowmatch coaching engine, but it's important to understand where Shadowmatch comes from so that you understand the Shadowmatch coaching engine. Then, so it's used for recruitment. The Shadowmatch reports are used and the results are used for personal development. So companies use Shadowmatch to develop individuals, to develop specific habits necessary for success in a specific role or a specific job. Then the Shadowmatch results are used for team analysis, where people have to work together in a team. We use the Shadowmatch results to see what does the team as an entity look like with regards to their shared habits, and how does each of the individuals compare to the team as an entity. Then we've got relationship reports as part of the Shadowmatch engine. So once an individual has completed Shadowmatch, he or she has the opportunity to request a relationship report with a colleague, with a friend, with a loved one, with a spouse. There are 8 different types of relationship reports that an individual can choose from, and that is then purchased by the individual on their individual Shadowmatch portal. And then lastly, the Shadowmatch results have been used over the years for coaching. So a lot of coaches, counselors, even psychologists, and even consultants use the Shadowmatch results for coaching, for individual coaching as well as group coaching. They've specifically used the full report. That's the report of the habits of an individual for coaching an individual so that they can understand their habits and that they can reconstruct some of their habits to be successful in life. They've also used the career report, which is a report that is derived from the Shadowmatch results and that the system then presents to an individual with regards to what career choices to make that is in line with the habits of the individual. So the career report is a report that we use the individual's habits to produce the career report. This has also been used quite a lot in career coaching. And then there's a study report that is also produced by the system. The system uses the habits of the individual and then compiles a study method report to help an individual to find the study method that is most optimal and best for their specific habit patterns. So the full report, the career report, and the study report are all part of the Shadowmatch system. And because we've seen that many people use these reports for coaching, we then decided to develop the Shadowmatch coaching engine or coaching platform. So that's a new addition to the Shadowmatch family, and that's the coaching platform. Now, the coaching platform, firstly, gives the coach an opportunity to use the Shadowmatch results in a structured way for coaching. I'm going to go through the detail of the Shadowmatch platform, the coaching platform, and how these Shadowmatch results and reports are used for coaching. So the coaching platform, firstly, gives the coach a platform with rich content to do coaching. And then secondly, a client that's looking for a coach can go to the shadowmatchcoaching.com website, the URL, and find a coach. So once you decide to become a coach, you register, you sign up, and I'll show that process as well. And you then become visible on the shadowmatchcoaching.com page so that potential clients can find you and choose you to become their coach. Now, the Shadowmatch coaching engine, we've got 4 coaching programs. The first one is fulfillment coaching. Now, fulfillment coaching, I'm going to use the word life coaching because that's a word that everybody knows and everybody understands. But the fulfillment coaching program on shadowmatchcoaching.com, this is a coaching program that follows a process to align habits and lifestyle of an individual in such a way that the individual is capable of dealing with the challenges they face in a successful manner. So the fulfillment coaching program uses the shadow match results of an individual, and it follows a process over a long period of time to assist an individual to align their habits with their lifestyle so that they become successful. This coaching will typically be aimed at people that find themselves in a difficult time of their life, people that want more meaning from life, people that feel that, you know what, there must be more to life, people that might go through a bad patch in their relationship with somebody. So this coaching is really to help somebody to align their life with their habits and live a more meaningful life. Now, the entire coaching program for fulfillment coaching and the rest of the coaching programs that I'm going to position, all the content is available on the coaching platform. Um, the content uses the Shadowmatch results as the basis for the coaching programs. Then career coaching. Now, there are 4 types of career coaching that you can do. The system, again, provides the content for the career coaching, and the career coaching is based on the career report of an individual. I'll show the examples of the report shortly. The 4 types of career coaching, firstly, is for somebody that wants to make a career choice. Typically, your high school leaver, somebody that's quite early in their tertiary education and says, you know, I'm not sure that I'm studying the right thing, and I'm not sure that this is going to be the career for me. So a first-time career chooser. Then the second one is somebody that wants to work on career progress in their current career or in their current organization. So that's for career progress. Then the third option is to help somebody make a career change. So the career report is also positioned to use as coaching to help somebody that says this career is just not working for me. I would like to make a career change. And then lastly, post-retirement career. A lot of people end their career at 60 or 65. They're still very young and they say, you know, I can't just sit at home. I would like to choose or to start with a new career. Then the career coaching is also very powerful to help that individual start with a new career post-retirement. Then the study method coaching is the third coaching program on the coaching platform. And the study method coaching helps an individual that's currently studying, whether that's a high school student or somebody that's busy with their university or college studies after school, to find the most optimal study methods in line with his or her habits. So the study method coaching uses the Shadowmatch results and it produces the study method report, and the coaching then has content on the coaching platform to help the individual work through their study method report and find the most optimal studies. All of this is based on the study report, and the study method coaching specifically follows a process of a 10-week coaching or 10-session coaching process. And then the last of the 4 coaching programs is personal development program coaching. So this is where somebody looks at their Shadowmatch results, looks at their habits and says, one of the habits, one single habit that I would like to develop into more of an embedded pattern is problem solving, or the propensity to hand things off to other people. So the personal development program coaching will focus on one habit at a time and will also then follow a process of actions where the person has to go and do things in order to learn more of a pattern in that area of behavior. Before I continue, let me show you the examples of the reports. So the Shadowmatch result, once the person, as I said, once somebody has completed the Shadowmatch worksheet, then they get a full feedback or personal feedback report. Now, all these reports get sent to the individual in a PDF format as an attachment to an email, but they also have access to these reports on their personal Shadowmatch portal. I've now logged into my own personal Shadowmatch portal, and I have access to these reports interactively on my personal portal. So the personal feedback report gives me an outline of my habits. We measure 19 habits on the top line. We also measure conceptual fitness, the time it took to complete this worksheet, as well as attitude. Now, because this is not a training session, all of this is obviously explained in videos when somebody gets their results so that they understand how to interpret these results. This is an interactive graph and report. So if I click on one of these habits, it will immediately give me feedback. And this is obviously not static, it's dynamic, because the next person might have 25 points for propensity to hand off, and they will have a different report or paragraph to my paragraph. Now, as I said earlier, there's no good and bad. This just shows that propensity to hand off is not a strong behavior pattern in my habit profile. This is maybe if I want to do a personal development program, this is typically what I would then say, let me work on my habit of handing off so that it's easier for me to delegate tasks to others. And that's then typically where I will follow the coaching program, the personal development program on the coaching system. Then my career report. The career report forms the basis or the foundation of the career coaching on the career coaching platform, on the Shadowmatch coaching platform. This report is an Industry 4 ready report. That means it's future ready. It talks the language of the future world of work. This report is also interactive. It gives an introduction. I can watch an introduction video, and the coaching program will prompt the coach to watch this video with the client so that they have a discussion once they've watched the video. The system gives me guidelines on how to read the report, and then you will see that each of the sections will have a video, an explanation of this individual's future work Industry 4 space. And now it says, your specific Industry 4 position is to seriously consider a career in the system design space. Because my habits wants me to work in the system design space, I have a video about system designers. The next person's video will be different. And then I'm just going to show you one more section, the broad focus of my career. There's a video, an explanation. It gives me my preference, and then it shows me my position. What is my broad focus of my career? I should rather not work with people every day. I must work with objects and tasks, but preferably I must work with ideas. So this is the career report, and this forms the basis of the career coaching on the Shadowmatch coaching platform. Obviously, the coach has access to all these reports for the individuals that he or she coaches. And then the last one I want to show you is the study report. Again, an interactive report, gives an introduction, talks about studying for long sessions or short, intense sprints. And then it says, what is my optimal study method? It gives me the maths and the calculus and the statistics, all the understanding type subjects. What's my preferred way of studying? I can watch a video. And then it gives me my method number 1, problem solving, and my method number 2, the big picture indexing. So the study report gives the coach and the individual that's going through the report the information about the optimal study methods. So these are the reports that we use for the Shadowmatch training, for the Shadowmatch coaching platform. So what I would like to now talk about is the coach sign up. So if you want to sign up as a coach, the system is an automated system, and I'm going to show that shortly. So you sign up, and there's a monthly payment that you need to pay for use of the system, and that payment goes through PayPal. You sign up for a minimum of 5 programs. Now, 5 programs can be 5 clients, or the 5 programs can, for example, be 4 clients. One client does career coaching and study method, that's one client. Then another client does the fulfillment coaching, another client does the PDP coaching, and another client does the study method coaching. So your first option that you have as a coach is to sign up for 5 programs, not less. You can obviously sign up for more, but your minimum that you need to sign up for is 5 programs, and that's a monthly payment that then goes through PayPal. And that payment depends on, it's charged in US dollars because the PayPal system works in US dollars. Now, once you've signed up as a coach, you get access to your own personal coaching portal. And I'm going to show you that as well. On the coaching portal, you have training content. So there's no need for you to be trained before you can sign up as a coach. All the training content, even the Shadowmatch part of the training, how to understand and interpret the results, will be part of your coaching portal. There's a section with all the training content. On your personal portal as a coach, there's marketing material that you can use to market to potential clients. There will be a section with important documents that, for example, will be a template that you can use to do a quote to a client, or a template that you can use as a contract when you have to contract with a client. You will see all your active clients on your portal. You can refer other coaches. So if you start using the portal and you find it very valuable and you know of somebody that's also coaching, you can, from your portal, send them a link as a referral. They sign up independently, use the portal independently from your portal, but you earn commission because you've referred the coach to also use that, the Shadowmatch coaching platform. And then on your portal, you can upload your bio, you can upload a profile picture, your social media handles, and also a personal slug or your personal web page, which I'll show shortly. We offer coach support. So we will have regular training and support webinars for coaches, and we notify you well in advance of a specific webinar that will serve as a support and a training for the registered coaches on the coaching platform. And then obviously we continuously have communication from the Shadowmatch team that goes out to coaches. Once, if we do enhancements to the system, or there's some questions that we've received and it's frequently asked questions, we will share that as a communication to the coaches, and that will either be positioned on your coaching platform or it will come as an email from the Shadowmatch team. Then the marketing. So how do you market to your clients, and how do we market to clients? It's important to note that you must be visible to your potential clients. So we provide marketing material on your coaching portal. As the Shadowmatch team, we do marketing campaigns. So we do social media marketing campaigns where we advertise the coaching platform, and we position the campaigns specifically to students for the study method coaching, or to a specific age group for career coaching, or to specific individuals for fulfillment coaching. So we do marketing campaigns globally, and obviously we use the shadowmatchcoaching.com website as the landing page so that people that are interested can go to that page and find a coach. And that's then where you can also get potential clients from, through our social media marketing. We do marketing webinars. So we will be doing webinars where we talk about the careers of the future, or how do you optimize your career in your current organization. We will obviously market that to the coaches so that they can market that to potential clients. And we will also market those webinars via our social media channels. And then lastly, as part of the marketing that we offer you as a coach, is you get a hosted web presence. That's that personal URL, which I'm going to show you how that works. So we host that personal URL for you as the coach, so that you can use that URL that belongs to you in marketing to potential clients. Then the last thing that I want to talk about before I actually show you the system is the coaching content. Now, the coaching content, as I said earlier, is provided on the coaching platform already. And we use the mind, meet, and move, let's call it terminology, or that's the approach we have with our coaching content. Now, the mind part is the client needs to do some mind work, think about things, ponder on things, read his or her report in preparation for the meeting with the coach. So the reports The coach and the client have access to the reports on the platform. The preparation work, the mind work, is done by the client. The coach also has access to the mind work instructions so that the coach can see what does my client have to prepare for our first coaching session or our first meeting. So that's then the meet phase. The mind phase is the preparation. The meet phase is where coach and client gets together and they then start to discuss the mind work that the client had to do. The platform gives the coach meeting guidelines. So before we have our meeting, the system gives meeting guidelines to the coach. And the system says, coach, in your meeting with your client, prepare X, Y, and Z. And in your meeting with your client, these are the outcomes that you have to reach in your meeting and your discussion with your client. Then the move phase is the action plan. That is the coach and the client. So the system gives the action plan and says, now that you've met, you need to now go over to action. You now need to decide, what do I do? What does the client have to go and do so that they start to reconstruct their habits or that they start working on their career path going into the future? Then on the coaching platform, the coach has a progress monitoring opportunity. So the coach can monitor the progress of the individual in terms of their performance. So the coach can evaluate at the end of each phase, the coach can evaluate the progress of the individual. And that is only for the record keeping of the coach. The coach can also make notes, things that he or she needs to remember when they meet with the client next time. So as the coach, you are free to fully engage your client, facilitate the process, and stay close to your client's progress. The system provides the rest. So the system gives you all the content. Obviously, it's not static because every person's habits are different. So although the system provides the content, the detail and the discussions will be unique to each client because the habits of each individual will be unique. So that's the theory part. What I would like to do now is I would like to now go to the system and show you in practice how this coaching platform works. So let me go to Shadowmatch Coaching. So what you see now is the shadowmatchcoaching.com webpage. Let's just take that part out. So shadowmatchcoaching.com will bring you to this page. Now, as I said earlier in the discussion, you can sign up and become a coach. You merely go and say, I'm going to sign up as coach. It's an automated process. The system will ask you for your PayPal details. You can link a credit card or a debit card to your PayPal, and then your first payment goes off and you can start using the system. No prerequisites, no training necessary for you to start using the system. This is where people can find a coach. So we use shadowmatchcoaching.com as the landing URL in the social media marketing that we do. So if anybody gets to this page and they say, I want to find a coach that can help me with my career choice, or I want to find a coach that can help me optimize my study methods. This is the page where they will land, and they can then choose by looking at the pictures, looking at the location of the coach. I'm in South Africa, so a coach in the United States will not work because of the time difference. I'm in Gauteng, Pretoria, so maybe Jan in Centurion can work for me. So this is where the client can then scroll through all the coaches on the list and decide who's going to work for me, who's closest to me. Although we do most of our coaching via Zoom, if we look at the time difference between South Africa and the US, it's not clever to choose a coach in the US. So that's why location is important. On this page, let me just go back home. There's a section coaching programs. So this gives an outline of each of the coaching programs as well as the Shadowmatch coaching principles. So for any coach or potential client landing on this page, they can read about the coaching principles and watch the video. They can read about career coaching, watch a short video. All the videos are 2 to 3 minutes, even shorter. They can read about the study method coaching, again, watch a video, the same for fulfillment and the same for the personal development programs. So there's enough information for anybody that lands on this page to read about the various coaching programs. Then the coaching engine explains to a coach how it works, what you get, what's the pricing, and then you can sign up. On this page, there are also a short demonstration. It's about an 11-minute video explaining and practically showing the process on the system between the coach and the client, showing both sides on the coaching portal for the client as well as on the coach's side, what both of them will see and how the process works. And then there are also some information webinars that you can access. What I would like to do now, let me log into my own coaching portal and then show you how the coach's personal portal will look like. Great. So I've signed into my own personal coaching portal. You can see it says, welcome Lizette de Villiers. Now I've got 3 active clients. On my coaching portal, before we look at the active clients, I can see a list of my clients there, as well as in the left navigation panel. As I said, coach training. So all the training to me as a coach to be an excellent coach is available on my platform. Understanding Shadowmatch gives the training title. It shows me that these are all videos that I can watch. If we scroll down a bit, there's training about the coaching process. Some of it's audio, you can see, listen. Some of it's like a micro book. There are 2 books that I can read, I can download, and then there's a video that I can watch. Then the coaching programs, all of these are audio files. Fulfillment coaching, it's a downloadable document. The study method coaching, it's a downloadable document. So there's a lot of training available to a coach. Then the marketing material that I as coach can use to market to potential clients. I can refer a coach. So if I know of someone that also will benefit from using this platform in their coaching business, I can put the name, the email address, a personalized message, preview the email, and send. That's all I have to do. That coach can then decide, do I sign up? Don't I? If that coach signs up, they independently practice and uses the Shadowmatch coaching platform. As a coach, I will then receive 25% commission on all the programs that they activate on their platform. And then on my account section, under the account tab, I can upload a picture. Let me just click on edit. So I will put my name, my last name, my province, my city, my email address. This is my personal web page slug. So this is my personal URL. So I'm just going to copy that so that I show you what my personal page looks like. We'll go to that in a moment. And then I can upload my Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and Twitter handles. Now, this is quite important. When I select this box, make me visible on the Find a Coach page. It means my picture with my bio will appear on the page where all the coaches appear. So any potential client can find me. You don't have to. I have decided not to make myself visible because that's not primarily what I do. I don't primarily coach. I can click to update my bio. So this is where I will load my bio, and then I can merely save. So I'm just going to cancel for now. So this is where I can see my account. I've got 5 programs active. I see my monthly subscription price, and at any point in time, I can go and say, I would like to upgrade to 10 or 50 programs, depending on how many people I coach. Obviously, I cannot downgrade to lower than 5, but should I be on 10 and some of my clients have finished their coaching, I can always downgrade to 5 programs. And this is where I will also see a summary of which programs have I currently got live and running. So if I go back and I go home, what I also have on my portal as an individual coach, I have a list of active clients, which we will go to just now. I can invite a new client, and I can also manage invitations that I've sent to potential clients. So if, for example, I've sent an invitation to a client and the client comes back and says, you know what, a lot of things have happened and I'm not going to start with the coaching right now, I can delete that invitation. And then at a later stage, maybe re-invite that client. The coaching requests, this is where I will see any requests that come from the Find a Coach page, the page where all the coaches are listed. If a potential client lands on that page, they select my face and they like my bio and I'm close to where they live and they send me a message, this is where I will get the message under coaching requests. I can then view the message, engage the client via email so that we agree on a price for the coaching, sign the contract, and once we've done that, I can go and invite the client and start the coaching process. And then my client updates section will be where I see what has happened with my clients. So Suzanne is busy with study method and she's made changes to her move step. So I can now go to Suzanne's program and I can go and view what changes has she made. So this actually now also shows you one of the live actions and live coaching programs for an individual, Suzanne Conradi. She's one of our internal people because we've also decided to test the system internally. So Suzanne, she's busy with phase 1 of 7. She's busy with study method coaching. And here you can see very nicely the mind phase. This is also what the client will see on their side. This is the mind work Suzanne has been requested to do. And now you can see this is what both coach and client will see. And I can now see the work that she's already done and submitted. So I can go through this in preparation for our meeting. Now under the meet, it says to the coach, these are the actions and goals for you, for goals for and with your client. So the meeting guidelines for me, it says this is what we need to achieve during our meeting. Once we've met and during our meeting, we go to the move phase. This is where the action plan happens. So we say actions for immediate change. Obviously that will now link to our discussion and we will then make some notes. Once I've made the notes, I can save it. I can also add, I can save it. I can send this information to my client and I can activate the next step. This is where I will manage the appointments. Now the system is clever enough to interact with various calendars. So if I book my next session with my client, the system will ask me for the title, the date. I can put my Zoom meeting link already in this and I can book the session. On the client side, they can accept and the system will then prompt them to add it to any of the calendars, Google Calendar, Outlook, whatever system they use. This is where the coach can make notes. So the coach can make any notes and it's not visible to the client. So the coach can make any notes that they want to remember for record keeping in the next session with the client, things that they might have discussed, things that came to mind. This is where the coach can capture that. And then lastly, the performance evaluation. This is optional and this happens at the end of each phase. This is where the coach then rates the performance of the client. And this is to protect the coach so that the coach can really say, but I've done what I can. Did the client actually actively participate in the process? Poorly, or maybe more than good enough? What was the preparation for the work sessions? Was it just doing the bare minimum or was it more than good enough? So you can see that this gives the coach the opportunity to rate the work that the client did. And this is something that's very important for record keeping. The coach can also make some notes and then just save that. That's not sent to the client. This is only for the purposes of the coach for record keeping and to keep track of the progress and the performance of the client. So I think that in a nutshell, let me just go back home and see if whether I've missed anything. That is in a nutshell what the coaching platform offers. And that's what the coaching platform, the value the coaching platform gives to coach and to client. So what I would like to do now is to stop sharing my screen and then to just stop the recording.